Hello, fellow introverts. It's Maddie. Sorry I've been AWOL for the last 7 weeks. Time really got away from me, and then, as you can see, I moved back to school, and school started now, but I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things and to have weekly videos again. So hopefully that will work. Since it's my first week back in 7 weeks, I decided to do the 25 bookish facts tag, kind of just to ease back in. So here we go. I am an English major. I am studying English. I have no minor or no emphasis, because at my school you cannot emphasize in Brit Lit or American Lit. You can just emphasize in creative writing. My favorite book, and I've mentioned this before, is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I actually don't have it with me. I had to choose which books to bring with me, and that one did not actually make the cut, which is weird because it's my favorite. But I have a lot of books that I'm reading that are on my TBR or that are for school. I hate the book Catcher in the Rye, and that's mostly because I hated the teacher that I had to read it with. I've never read the Harry Potter books, and I've never seen all the movies. I'm on book 4, I believe, and I want to finish the books before I watch all the movies. I've also never read Lord of the Rings, but I have seen all those movies. I watched them all for the first time last year. Daisy made me watch them. I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I used to hate reading. It took me a while to realize how awesome reading was. Sci-fi is by far my favorite genre. Fantasy is a close second, but sci-fi's up there. My freshman year of college, we had to read Wuthering Heights, and I spark noted the entire thing because I hated it that much. Also freshman year, it was one adventure after the next. I had to read a book for a class. It doesn't matter which book it was. And my dog, Emmy, who I post pictures of on Instagram a lot if you follow me there, she actually ate my book, and I was very upset because I had to buy a new copy. I read Jane Eyre and Pride and Prejudice for the first time last year. Jane Eyre was towards the end of the school year. I listened to the audiobook, and then Pride and Prejudice I read over the summer. I've also mentioned this before. I'm part of a book club on Facebook. It's just me and 3 other people. It's a pretty small book club, but we have fun. I am the secretary of Sigma Tau Delta at my school, our chapter, and it's pretty fun. Sigma Tau Delta is the English honors fraternity, for those who do not know. I want to write a book or 5 someday. I don't know when that will be, probably really far in the future, because I've been working on a manuscript for many, many years now. Also, talking about years into the future, I want to be a publisher or literary agent. That's what I'm going to school for. That's what I want to do. I always bring a book with me every time I go on a trip. True story, when I went to my first concert, which was the Black Keys, it was an awesome concert, I brought a book with me to read before the opening band came on, and the lady who checked my purse, because you have to have your purses checked if you have a purse. Anyways, she checked my purse and she saw I had a book, and she looked at me like I was a weirdo. So I have fallen asleep while reading a book, and my sister took a picture because she thought it was really funny. If you're an avid reader, you'll really understand this next one. I hate when people dog ear books because I'm afraid the corner is gonna fall off, and then I don't know, and it just bothers me. I prefer soft covers to hardcovers because the jackets that go on hardcovers, they really bother me because they flop everywhere, and they just really bother me. I've never thrown a book, but I have wanted to, but I resisted the urge and I did not throw it. I can't remember which book it was, but I'm sure once upon a time I did want to throw a book. I mentioned this in one of my earlier videos, but I do eat and drink while reading. I actually was reading while I was eating breakfast this morning in CAF, and I was reading Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Such a good book. If you have not read it, I highly recommend it. Anyways, I was eating while reading, and I got food on my brand new shirt. And here I am, and I didn't even change my shirt. I didn't even care. But back to the eating and drinking thing. I cannot listen to music while reading, because then I start singing along in my head, and sometimes out loud, and then I can't read and sing at the same time. I'm not that great at multitasking. I do love audiobooks. I mentioned that's how I read Jane Eyre, and that's how I'm making it through the Harry Potter books. So I do lend books to friends, but it depends on the book and it depends on the friend, because it takes a lot of trust for me to give you a book. I don't like mystery books. I think I've mentioned this too. A lot of these are repeats. Because I watch a lot of mystery movies and stuff, so I just spend the whole book trying to, like, detect, I guess, who did it. Like I'm a detective or something cool, when I'm really a reader, which is also cool. And finally, last but definitely not least, my favorite author, Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you for this awesome Edgar Allan Poe mug, Daisy. Edgar Allan Poe, he's just so creepy. Like, he was such a creep and like a real weirdo, and I feel like that just made it, like, that was inspiration for all of his great writing. Like The Fall of the House of Usher, every time she comes right back up those stairs, like, I get goosebumps, and I'm like, ooh, like, I'm gonna sleep with the light on. And then Cask of Amontillado, the whole time, I forget their names, they're just like walking, and the one guy is like, hey, let's go back, do you want to go back? And the other guy's like, no man. And then boom, like, he was giving you chances to get out and you didn't take the chance because you were dumb. Anyway, that's it for this week. Again, I'm sorry, I've been gone for the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's been a while. It was to the point where one of my friends asked me, are you even still doing that? It wasn't Daisy. Daisy wouldn't say that to me. Kind of a sneak peek of what's to come. Daisy tagged me in the playlist tag, so I'll be doing that sometime. And I just finished The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, so I'll do a book talk on that because I really liked that book. And like I said, I'm currently reading Ready Player One, and when I finish that, I will also do a book talk on that. And I would like to do a book haul, but I don't have any of the books that I bought with me, so that'd be weird. And maybe I'll do some quarterly goals, because I set some quarterly goals last quarter and I haven't looked at them yet to see how I did. So we'll discover how great I am at meeting goals together. But that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to say anything about the facts about me, go ahead and comment below. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll have the links below, and Goodreads. And I will see you guys next week.